How you doing, James Margin here at JTech, and we're going to go over an inspection on a scissor lift. It's very important that you use, depending whether this is a jig lift or use the Big Joe, some type of inspection criteria, so that way you can use it to know what you're inspecting and also to record the deficiencies. So that way when you go to either repair it, repair those deficiencies or send it out before the repair, it's able to be fixed. So take a spot on here to start. I'm going to do it right here by your control panel. You got your key, where the off is. This is the control lane. Make sure you have your automatic start and stop. You should also have your battery level on here, your reset button, an hour meter. At this point too, you can start to look at the tire, see if it's got tread, see if there's any changes or materials sitting inside of it. Have your recharge cord right here. This one here is missing the ground ground plug, so that's actually a bad thing, so we need to get that replaced. OSHA would not be very happy on it. Right here we can also see if the lift is working on it. Use the up and down. Go ahead and raise it from here. Right here you got a maintenance safety strap. Watch out, it is also a pinch point. And I will now lower it down so that way it's in the safe mode. Now it's there, and I will actually turn the power off so that now it's not controllable. From here though, you start looking at your hydraulic lines. Up in through here, you like hydraulic and electrical cables. Your hydraulic cylinder, hydraulic lines on it, hydraulic motor. Look for any leaks, any loose connections, any loose sensors or fittings, any down at the bottom. You can even go higher, but again, you still want your safety bar in there. You're looking for anything loose or leaking. Also looking over here, looking for any of the warning labels on the sides here, making sure they're all visible and not destroyed. This is one of the landing legs as it goes up. It's one of the stabilizers with added weight, so that way it helps for lifting and tipping over. This is the battery area, so we'll go ahead and that's locked, so we'll open it, unlock it. Alright, now here we have the batteries. So as you see, right here, the batteries at one point must have been overfilled because the electrolyte is starting to bleed out of the caps. So you're going to open them up, and the battery level looks excessively on the high side. It's a little too far, too overfilled, so it's not going to allow for expansion. There is some corrosion on it, and if you see on this one here, there's some damage to it, probably likely from either corrosion internal of the battery or overall just the expansion has made it bubble up right here, or it could have been hit by something, so there's a possibility of physical damage. This one here is actually a little on the low side, but obviously most of it's probably at this point been bled out from overexpansion. You can also see your electrical connections down underneath it here. Possibly have a few that are disconnected, whether we'd have to find out exactly why. Oh, that was just a safety plug, so plug that one back in as it should be capped, so that way it keeps dirt, debris, and water out of it. Look for any debris that would then hinder the movement of your safety landing leg. Otherwise we'll close this one up. Down. Both those batteries at this point should definitely be replaced. Looking at your steering control, again looking at the tires for any damage to them. Any loose hydraulic hoses, electrical cables on here, for some of the other safety mechanisms. You want to take a look at the scissors and all the joints, make sure they're fully secured. There's a locking bolt on place on side, the washer on the other side. Back to the other side of the tire. Rotate around to here. Again, another battery area, another landing leg, and another battery area. So we this one up too. Again, 2 batteries in here, gives it some weight. Again, looking in for the sensors. You got your horn right in here, so make sure it's hooked up for your alarm. Cables, hoses. Got a little bit of debris down in here, so it could use a cleaning. Again, there's some corrosion on here. And that one is over full. As you can see that the battery level is at the little plastic area that comes down, that seeps down in there, should at least be about a half inch below that, even just above the plates. and this is probably over an inch over filled on both of these batteries. So again, you're going to end up having some expansion, possibility of overheating the batteries, and having them expand. Making sure both these latches work. They're both a little loose, so they could probably use some repair on it to help secure these in place. That one needs to be adjusted. Anyway, so that'd be something to write down. Back to the other side here. There's one of your plugs in right in here for your battery box connections and your controller, sensor, shut-off handle, right there. This is your power cord, your max weights, your data plate, other safety warnings. Another thing we got right here is your annual certification inspection. This one here, the last time it was actually certified by an OSHA compliant or an ANSI compliant representative, has been 2014, so it's about almost 4 years overdue. So this one right here definitely needs to be updated just to get it in compliance. So actually at this point, nobody should operate it, and this type of inspection would definitely need to be done. There's a lot of money would have to be involved in actually fixing this though, just to get up to compliance. Also right in here, again, looking at the connection points, I'm going to go ahead and lift it up a little bit, lower it down. Switch it off. I'll go up one position, which now set the controls up to there. You should have some type of non-skid on the steps right there, just for safety reasons, especially if there's anything damp and wet. A little chain, gate chain, functions correctly. Again, some type of anti-skid on this. You want to look at the platform, see if any debris. We got some insulation around here, got a lot of dirt, got a chunk of metal sitting up there. So all that could cause some type of hazard to you or the equipment while you're in an elevated position. Go in here. Now this one here has an extendable platform. We'll do the action. Forward. And now we'll get into inspect. There is a lot of dirt and Chenga stuff on here. That should be cleaned off, vacuumed off, swept off. Ruler guards on here. Make sure all the safety places are in there. You have a outlet up here, a portable outlet, so that way you can use your power tools while elevated. Latches are in place. We'll just slide that. Locks in place here. Should not be forward. Again, up here, there's an electrical remote power cable, which has been cut. So that one there should be replaced instead of just electrical taped. Operator's manual. Must have an operator's manual to be able to operate it, which they do have it. So at least that part is in there. Again, safety, warning labels, safety labels, some of your different instruction manuals on how to operate it. Same thing on both sides, your tip hazards and the other hazards. The control panel up here should be legible. Should be able to tell what's what. This is your shut off, your power shut off right here. And of course you have your directional control and your lift controls, but you cannot, because of the amount of splattered paint. Here's your battery level, which is on the low side. Horn button, that does work. So, and then your little safety lever underneath here, you got the little trigger level. So we'll see if it works with the trigger. Not engaged, does not. So now we'll engage the trigger, forward and backward. There's your elevated. There's down. Now that was the up and down, so now we're going directional control. Top latch up here is for steering. So we'll go and move the button over here. See if we get the, nope, still need the trigger, lower trigger, so we'll engage the trigger. Be able to steer to the right. Go back, steer to the left. Checking to make sure the functionality of the wheels. Go back. So, though the batteries are low of juice, we do have it plugged in, so we do have to be cautious of the cord. So we'll engage the trigger, go forward. Engage the trigger, go backwards, making sure not to run over the cord. Very good, does function. And again, let's go make sure we see if it goes up and down. So we'll switch it back over to the directional, to the left. Engage the trigger, go up. As you can see, the batteries are low, shore power. This still does take a while. Now we go to an elevated position. And as you saw, the landing legs on the bottom came out. And now as I lower it, once it gets to a certain point, engage the trigger and lower it. They will retract. That functions properly. Go ahead and turn off the power, make sure that does not function, and then we'll debark the piece of equipment. And you do not want to just step off as I did. You'd rather turn around and go down using the steps. You do it when you're young, but eventually you're going to start, your bones are going to start feeling it. So this thing here, this is the shore power usage. So if it's been a long day and the battery's unholding, you can hook up the shore power. Or you can attempt to recharge the batteries by plugging it into this one. So we'll leave this one plugged in, turn the key off, turn the electricity off. That way it can sit overnight, get a good charge for the morning's operation. So again, especially that inspection sticker needs to get fixed. The other things, you write those down in your inspection list, so that way have a properly trained service technician do the repairs on it. And that would be the operation of the scissor lift. Thank you very much.